It's your boy, Father Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? It's your first time tuning in. Go ahead, hit doggone subscribe button, hit notification bell. Every time I post some new content. As you can see, this has been like the earliest that I've actually really done a show. This has been like, okay, I had to make sure that everything was good. But here's the deal, people. I took the day off because I got a lot of stuff to do today. Well, it's not that I have a whole lot of stuff to do today. You know, it's just that once I start in the gym, right? You know, I don't really like it when I really don't like it when I have to stop. You know, now, I tell my wife this, I tell everybody, I said, listen, from 7:30 to 11:30 or 11:45 or whenever the fuck I feel like finish working out, right? You know, don't call me, don't ask me for shit. Unless you about to die or you're on your way to the hospital. Or if you put like this, anybody in my family, right? Any one of y'all get sick or whatever, then okay, I'll stop what the fuck I'm doing. Right. But for the most part, Crazy Uncle gonna stay in the gym for as long as he wants. Which actually really brings me to this particular video, right? Because usually when I wake up, and yeah, there's the Crazy Uncle right there. You know, that was about an hour ago, right? But I'm looking at some of these comments, right? And see, like, whoever this motherfucker here is, right? I'd rather be unattracted to a man and healthy than to be obese and sexualized all day. Okay, well, my apologies, right? But here's the deal, right? I mean, this first part right here, I mean, somebody's always gonna find you attractive. Whether you looking like olive oil or you looking like the Michelin tire woman. So I mean, I'm just looking at say, also God forbid, you gain hella muscle and then they saying you look like a dude. So but I think, but the main plot to this, okay, here's a woman that she went from 210. That's her right there. And I guess this is her right there. But I don't know. To be perfectly honest with you, their nieces and nephews, I really don't think that's the same person. But no tasted beverage early this morning, right? So hey, it's too early. Matter of fact, but mind you, right? It is 5 o'clock, some goddamn way. I just thought I'd put that out there. Right? But we're gonna sit back and enjoy whatever the fuck happens. Let's go.
Fat distribution patterns are more socially accepted does not mean the health risks automatically disappear. As a Black woman who's into fitness and has gone through my own weight loss journey, I've noticed something that honestly bothers me a lot within the Black community when it comes to Black women and fitness. And the thing is, the messaging oftentimes feels so contradicting because on one hand, women will get criticized for being overweight or obese.
The word thick is misused in the Black community a lot. I think it's because thick sounds nicer than saying big or the F word. I'm going to say the F word because I don't want my video getting flagged, but you know what I'm talking about, F-A.
She's talking about being fat. Now, here's the deal, right? You know, me and some of my friends, we talk about this. Motherfucker said, but like this. Hold on. Here. I'm gonna let her finish.
You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that the reason why people default to saying that somebody thick when they big is because it sounds better and it sounds less hurtful. When I think of thick, thick has always been like two different types of thick growing up. You had your slim thick, which would be somebody like Lisa Ray in her prime, and then you had just thick, which would be like Delicious from Flavor of Love in her prime. Like those were your examples of thick, slim thick.
Okay, so here's the deal, people. You know, y'all know how the crazy uncle do things, right? If you walking around here looking like old busted ass can of biscuit, right? From, let's just say from the waist up, you look like old busted ass can of biscuit. And your legs looking like a bucket of chitlins, guess what? Crazy uncle gonna call your ass out. Plain and simple. Right? But here's the deal. Some men like that shit. A lot of men like eating biscuits and chitlins. I mean, it's just what it is what it is, people. So my whole deal is, yeah, I mean, me personally, I never use the word thick. I'll be like, "Ooh, she nice looking," right? Nice little booty, you know. Because I'm telling you something about men. As far as like the crazy uncle goes, I'm looking at three things. I'm looking at probably like four things. I'm looking at the face. I'm gonna look at the titty. I'm looking at legs, and I'm looking at the booty. Right now, it's different types of women out there. You know, you got the ones that they got titties for days, right? But that backside, no ass whatsoever. Then you got those that ain't got no titty, but they got ass for days, right? And then you got the ones that they got the titty, they got the booty, they got the face. Then I like to use one of those terms like, okay, well, she got $1,000 body, but a food stamp face. Okay, but so you can, I mean, all of this shit can actually appear to be worked around, right? I've seen a lot of people, what you consider to be obese, will run circles around somebody my size. They're like say, one of my childhood friends, Keith Webster, big dude, but that motherfucker run his ass off, right? I mean, he actually really gave a lot of us a run for our motherfucking money, right? You know, so hey, it is what it is. Let's go.
And then just regular thick. And it seemed like as time went on, more and more sizes were starting to be added to the category of being thick. Like you got women who not only do you have this big wide butt, you got a stomach, you got big arms, like everything's big, but you're calling yourself thick. And it's like, well, no.
No, your ass is just fat as fuck. Okay, let's just call it. Let's just call it for what the fuck it is. But guess what? Like what I said earlier, you get a lot of men. I mean, that's what they like. That's what the fuck they prefer. Because the thing about it though is this: I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't want no real skinny motherfucker. I mean, you come to me looking like olive oil, I'm like that way. Or I'm like, you know what? You need to sit your ass down at the dinner table and just sit there, right? Gain some titty, gain some booty, then maybe we'll talk about it. Because they're like say, you know, motherfucker, you get your back broke fucking with me. And you weigh less than me, right? Yeah. I'm just telling you, crazy uncle gonna put something on you. Let's go.
You just big, right? And that ain't no shade, but you a little bigger than thick. Like we're starting to cross the line of what thick.
What's that saying that like beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? You know, or in other words, what may be thick for you may be fat for the next person. Or what may be look like olive oil or a goddamn stick figure, you know, you get some men, they like that shit too, right? I mean, but again, if I'm looking at you and it look like it's hard for you to motherfucking swallow or take a shit, you know, Crazy Hawk gonna be concerned about you. I'm just putting it out there. All right, let's go.
Is versus big. And that's where a lot of the confusion come in at. And so you got these girls going around saying, I'm thick, I'm thick. And then the thing is like your butt ain't even really big. It's just wide. And it's not shaped nice, right? Like the shape of it is sloppy. And again, this ain't no shade. I'm just being honest. Like it's not a shapely, nice butt. It's just a big, sloppy, wide butt. And because it's so big, though, you got somebody sitting there calling you thick. And it's not a real thing.
But then once a woman, especially if you are black and shaped a certain way, starts losing weight and looking leaner, people will have a lot to say.
Okay, mind if I didn't say anything, because I do argue back. I am probably like 130 now, but I used to be damn near 180. Okay, trust me, I've had 3 rolls in my back. I've listen, I've been there before, but let me say something. Being skinny, it is not the beauty standard in the black community. I don't feel like
Okay, so I'm looking at this. And so I'm just like, okay, so my question is, okay, who died and left you in charge? Right? You know, just because you lost weight, you feel better about yourself. Look, don't put this shit on everybody else. Don't put it on everybody else. Okay? Let's go. She finna, the way that she started off, she probably finna say something else fucking stupid. Let's go.
I have to explain myself, but I feel like I do. Because y'all just fight all day about that shit. And it's like, it's not, we are not white. White people set that system up.
Oh, see now, do you actually really know that for sure? And then I'm looking at the simple fact. Okay, let's go back and look at it. Okay, being skinny is not beauty, is not the beauty standard in the black community, especially black Southerners. Now, I put like this. She's speaking from a way, she's speaking in such a way, right? That okay, you looking at like so-called slavery days, right? When motherfuckers was eating I mean, they still do it now, but okay, let's just say it was more so back then, right? You know, it's just like, okay, you eating every part of the pig possible. Cornbread, macaroni and cheese, depending on how you make your macaroni and cheese, sweet potato pie, you know, the big motherfucking Sunday dinner. So you almost got to ask yourself, okay, where that shit come from? Right? So don't sit up here. I hate when motherfuckers talk like this. You know, don't sit up here and talk about, oh, that's the standard for white folks. No, it's not. I mean, if you put like this, if you go say something, right, at least have some, fact check what the fuck you say, right? I mean, for the most part, you know, what a lot of people don't realize, right? The more weight you put on, the more stress that you put on your bone structure. That's why a lot of motherfuckers be talking about, ooh, child, my knees hurt, my ankles hurt. Why? You got too much goddamn weight on. But then again, I'm just, as time progresses, people get older. And if you're really not as active as you once were, right? And then when you get up and do shit, right? Then hey, depending on how long you're gonna be on your feet or whatever, yeah, your knee might get a little swollen, your ankles might get a little swollen, you know, whatever the case, right? You know, so Don't sit up here and holler about that we as black people, we supposed to be fat and out of shape. No, right? Because basically that's all what the fuck that's all what the fuck you trying to say right now. Let's go.
We are not white.
So this content creator showed her transformation of how she went from 210 pounds to 156 pounds, which in my opinion is very impressive.
All right there. She look, I mean, I can't, y'all know the saying, 210, count your boy in, right? He said, you can't put like this. If you do something, we can do something. Y'all know how the shit go. So again, this is prime example right here. I'm pretty sure that the shock wave was rather fantastic. So slap, slap, watch it jiggle. So let's go. Okay, now that's her right there. Now I'm just looking at it like this. I'm gonna call straight bullshit on this, right? Now I get it. Lighting is a contributing factor, but if you look at her, so again, so let me get this straight. So the bigger you are, the lighter you get, the smaller you get, the darker you get. No, I'm calling bullshit on this. I'm straight up calling bullshit on this. Let's go.
But then when you look at the comments of this creator's transformation post, there's men in the comments saying things like,
"Oh, 210 pounds is perfect."
And in other words, 210, count your boy in. Right? It's just for the simple fact. And then whoever said that just because you don't meet the standard, whatever the fuck the standard is, right? Don't, you know, that it's just right off the bat, you out of motherfucking shape. You can't do shit. So I just look at it like this, right? Let's just say for shits and giggles. And, you know, for the most part, right, you know, I like to think that, you know, weight is not it's not a contributing factor, right? But, you know, I just look at it like this. You laid up in the bed and the bathroom is roughly anywhere, let's just say anywhere from 75 to 100 feet. Now, by the time you get your ass up out the bed, maybe take 7 steps and you out of breath, yeah, something serious wrong. Well, guess what? It ain't always got to be the weight, people. You could be just lazy as fuck. I've seen a lot of skinny motherfuckers that can't run nowhere, right? And then they're like, okay, well, then they got a condition. Yes. It's called being fucking lazy. Okay, plain and simple. Let's go.
210 pounds look like wife material, husband and baby.
all because of how the weight was distributed on her body. And the thing is, there is a high chance that if her body fat was distributed any differently, these same people would not be saying the same thing. Because as a Black woman, especially online, being overweight only becomes acceptable or desirable if
Overweight to who? See, that's the thing. You know, I know she's talking about women here, but here it is, you know. I'm like, okay, let's just say probably like on a good day, I'm 5'8.5". Put shoes on, I'm close to 5'9". And last time I weighed myself, I was at like, what, 190, 192, 193, you know. And so even now, according to certain people's standards, shit, I'm overweight. And I go to the gym. But the thing is that once you start listening to other people, whether they Black or white, right? I'm just like, okay, who the fuck you really gonna listen to? You gonna listen to yourself and look at yourself and be like, okay, you know what? I like how I look. Or you gonna start listening to other motherfuckers. Plain and simple. Right? It ain't about Black or white. It's about how the fuck you feel in your own skin. Right? Let's go.
It comes with a very specific shape. And you know what shape I mean. Like the slim waist, fuller hips, basically the hourglass figure that's always praised on social media. And honestly, I think it's very
Again, by whose standards are you talking? Just because the majority say it don't necessarily mean that it's right. See, again, you know, fuck this. Again, like I say, if y'all gonna come on here, because here's there, you going off of what the fuck somebody else done told you, right? I mean, let's actually really just let's call it for what the fuck it truly is, right? It's just for the simple fact, you know. I'll be the first one to tell you, I've been little bit all my goddamn life, and then, like my friends that I grew up with, right? They was always bigger than me or whatever, and so I was always a little bitty one in the bunch. So I joined the army. I put on some weight. I go to my motherfucking high school reunion, right? And these motherfuckers still bigger than me. I'm just like, what the fuck? I mean, but it's you know, hey, look, I get it. I got it. You know, but if you feel good about yourself, I mean, because like I say again, you go get a 200+ pound person, take him to the doctor. Everything good. So what the fuck we talking here? Like, really? You know, to be perfectly honest, you know, I you know, and I've always believed this, right? I think that for the motherfuckers that really don't give a damn, them the ones that actually really live longer than those of us that actually really go to the gym. But hey, that's neither here nor there. So let's go.
very offensive to tell somebody that they looked better obese because it looked a certain way.
Habas, if your waist and your stomach is smaller than your hips and your boobs, like if you're shaped like a number 8, right? Coke bottle, no matter what weight you're at, people are gonna call you thick instead of fat. I forgot the name of that TikToker, but she was like,
Again, here we go. Here we go. Thick. I mean, y'all motherfuckers. I mean, now I know what the fuck I said earlier, right? You know, but I mean, now I look at it like this, right? Cause see, I'm old school, right? You know, cause my whole deal is because you know I grew up at a time where that if we saw a nice looking woman, a little bit on the hefty side, if indeed that's what the fuck you want to call it, right? And I used to hear my uncles and they were like, damn, she built like a brick shit house. Right? That just means that you look good. Beauty is in the eyes of the motherfucking beholder. Okay? Let's actually really just take what the fuck the crazy uncle just said, take it in consideration, and then you run with it. How the fuck you run? Hey, take what the fuck I just said and run with it. Let's go.
drenching her Chipotle with bullshit, you know? And everybody was like, oh, you're gonna be so big. And everybody was like, you know, saying what it was, you know? And she gets on here and she records her body, right? Big old booty, big old boobs, but her waist was smaller than both of those combined, you know, like both of those. Okay, cool. You're shaped like an 8, but nonetheless, you're still big. Like you are fat. Just because you got a fat ass doesn't make you smaller. It doesn't make you thick. That's not what thick is. You're a fat girl.
And again, you talking all this, and I'm looking at you. Hey, just saying.
You just got a tiny waist.
She is absolutely right. And I have a perfect example of this situation with a post that I came across like a while back. As you can see in this screenshot, right? This woman posted about her weight loss journey. She said,
Okay, now I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna now here, right here, right? She looks good right here. She looks good right here. Right? Now, my whole deal is, it's almost like that one show or podcast or interview, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? And KRS-One did, it was years ago. I mean, years ago, right? It's almost like, okay, well, who said that you was ugly? Right? So again, it goes back to what I said earlier. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Ain't nobody, and then if it sounds like I'm talking out of both sides of the mouth, I probably am, but just try to understand where the fuck the crazy talk is coming from, right? Somebody told her that she was too big right here. Right? So she dropped 60 plus pounds. But see, here's the deal. This is just like the other one, right? When people do this, right? Is this the same person or are these two different people? That's what you actually really got to stop. Now, if she put in the work, good for you. I'll give you a cookie later on. But I'm just like, because I see this shit all the time, right? I mean, put like this. I have to, for me, I'm not going to go off of none of this shit here. Whether it's her or the other one that was 210, right? And then here's another one. Okay, so here's the shit. 210, count your boy in. 180, you ain't no motherfucking lady, right? It's just like, now I look at it, health issues, bone structure. Hey, guess what? I get all that, right? But don't let a certain weight fuck you up. Plain and simple. You can have some big ass healthy people and some unhealthy ass skinny people. Let's just call it for what the fuck it is, people. Let's go.
Lost the weight, kept the curves. In the left side, you can see she was 195, but in the right side, she was still curvy, but she was 130 pounds. And she was just hyped about it. She was happy. And then everybody in the comments just started eating her up, saying, oh, on the left, you looked it better. You was thick. She was like, no, I was fat. I had all kind of health problems. I'm happy at my 130. And then people just going at her saying, oh, I could see.
Okay, then, so again, she's like, I was fat. I had health problems. So, again, right? If you got health problems, fine, right? But how are you eating back then, right? Because who's to say you at 130 now? Who's to say you still ain't got health problems? Okay, let's go.
Your bones in the right picture. You don't look good. You should have stayed at 195. I was the only one in this comment section that kept it real with her. That's my post right there. Real Talk Chris. I said, everyone praising 195 over 130 is the prime example of enabling obesity in the Black community. This is why Black women choose to not prioritize their health. She probably
again, again, everybody keep talking about obesity this, obesity that, obesity that. Whose fucking standards are we talking about here? Oh, it's by my standards. Okay, motherfucker, who the fuck are you? Right? I bet you I can run circles around your little skinny bony ass. Right? I'm just putting it out there, right? And then I already know, okay, crazy uncle. So if this is the case, why the fuck you still go to the gym? Because for one, I'm retired, I ain't got shit else to do. I'm not gonna go work for nobody, guys. I'm not gonna work nowhere. 21 years, United States Army. I ain't got to do this shit no more. Right? I'm just like, again, by whose standards are we talking about here? Yes, I said all the shit about bone structure, but it's just for the simple fact that what I've been saying for the, throughout this throughout this show, right? It makes fucking perfect sense. Put too much weight on, it's gonna fuck with your bone structure. You know, and then, and then for the most part, right, that ain't got shit to do with the doctor. I'm just like, I'm just saying, right? After a while, it could be like what the fuck we like. I mean, some of us like the big one, right? And then it's just for the simple fact, right? Okay, motherfucker, you did try to get brownie points. Okay, so let's go.
Feels 10 times better at 130 over 195. And I said, congrats on your milestone. And she pinned my comment because I was the only one keeping it real. And not only did all of those people in the comments go at her, they came at me too. Oh, this is what I don't like about N-words. They always trying to lie and stuff like that. It was nothing wrong with her body composition and all of these things. We don't go to white standards of BMI. And this is what I hate in the Black community when it comes to our Black women. Y'all have been lied to forever. You can be 300 pounds. People will say you look good. Us Black men, we don't get lied to like that.
As if a woman is supposed to spend hours training, watching what she eats, prioritizing her health, and building discipline, also she can fit into someone else's fantasy of what a woman's body is supposed to look like.
One of the things about losing weight as a Black woman is the fact that people will look at you dead in your eye and criticize you for losing weight and being on your weight loss journey, especially if you are more of a thicker Black woman. I post my transformation a lot online to inspire.
Again, somebody please tell me, what is the definition? Can somebody please define what the fuck thick is? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because can't nobody actually really describe it.
Inspire women. And the comments that I get from people that are like, why did you change yourself? Oh my God, you look so good. The thing is, I was 200 pounds at 5'6". I was obese. Like, that was not healthy for me. But the fact that I was bottom heavy and I had a smaller top, physicality gets prioritized over general health and wellness in the Black community. And it's incredibly frustrating because you have a lot of women that are in the sunken place that swear just because you have a big butt, that supersedes health, right? For example.
So what about the little bitty motherfuckers? They got a big ass. Okay, so again, everybody just for the most part, like, everybody been talking about the ass this, the ass that, the ass the other. I go to the gym. There's a lot of motherfuckers. Put like this: whatever your definition of a big ass is, again, it's how you see it, right? I mean, me personally, it's like, okay, if you got a big ass, fine. Right? Now if you got a nice ass, right? Where it looked like like those like those red kickballs that we had back in the day. And when it bounced, right, it made a certain sound. Those y'all that are old, that just as old as me, maybe a few years younger, maybe a few years older, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? And it made the sound that it made once you bounced it on the ground, it was a hell of a lot different than what a basketball is. We know how basketball sounds. We know how that red ball sounds. And so I just think like this: okay, you got a red kickball booty. Yeah, I see. I just know I threw a whole lot of y'all off right there. But I mean, if the ass is big, okay, all right, I get you. But now you got like a little nice little teacup booty. I mean, but it fits with everything else. Okay, we're gonna run with that. We're gonna take it, we're gonna run with it, right? So stop hollering. Listen. Stop. Just because you got a big ass don't mean you thick. You just a woman with a big ass. Okay, so that don't make you thick, people. I mean, damn, let's go.
Whenever I was that size, like I was literally a hamburger away from my stomach pudging over and me not being able to wear crop tops and having to tuck my stomach in my leggings. Like that wasn't comfortable. And the fact that obesity, specifically with Black American women, is so rampant because of this.
So let me get this straight, right? You know, and see, this is where. So I guess this is where the rubber meets the road at, right? Because put it like this, crazy uncle gonna talk about you regardless of whatever fucking size you are, right? So I'm just like, because you put it like this, you could be walking around looking like an old busted ass can of biscuit, and you got one of them off the top, pretty much like what the fuck she got on right now, right? I'll be like, why the fuck you come out the house looking like that? But guess what? She feel comfortable about herself. Don't give a fuck about what anybody got to say about it. Right? It is what it is, people. Long as you feel good, and I get it. You know, this is one of these. I should have waited and did this shit after I had a drink or two. But it's the thing about it though is this, right? It's your body. How the fuck you feel? But I'm just like, at the same time, who the fuck told you this? Who told you was motherfucking ugly? Who told you? Who said that you was fat? Right? I mean, it's almost like, okay, once you hear it that first time, or once you see it that first time, you can never unhear it, you can never unsee it. Right? Yes, it's okay to be in shape. Just like I say, I have no problem with you. Put like this: if you want to go to the gym, go to the gym, right? But it's just for the simple fact, right? It's a lot of big motherfuckers that's in shape. I'm just putting it out there. So I'm just like, okay, let's go.
This idealistic, sexualized, version that people have of Black women with having to have these extremely enormous butts is so frustrating.
But before we get too far into the video, I want to introduce myself. If you're new here, my name is Cherry, and on this channel, we talk about all things fitness, health, wellness, online gym culture, and sometimes the very weird things happening on the internet. And today's video is definitely going to be one of those conversations. I think this conversation is important because we cannot ignore the actual health statistics within the Black community. According to this
This right here. This right here, this is what kills me. Which one is it? Is it race or is it ethnicity? Okay. Like no bullshit. I mean, shit, we all human beings, right? And I get it. Everybody don't think like Crazy Uncle, but no. This right here, straight nonsense. Let's go.
CDC, Black adults in the United States have some of the highest rates of obesity compared to other racial groups. Black women specifically are disproportionately affected by things like obesity, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, and type 2 diabetes. I don't know about y'all, but growing up, I watched older adults in my family deal with those.
So again, put like this. Cardiovascular don't give a damn how much you weigh. You can weigh the same weight as me, even lighter. You can still catch that cardiovascular disease. You can still be a motherfucking diabetic. Don't put this shit off on people that y'all consider to be overweight. Don't do that. I promise you, that's not the goddamn case.
Exact same health issues. And I think it is important to mention that obesity does not always look the same on everybody.
Some of you might hate me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The Black community has this unhealthy obsession with being thick. And don't get me wrong, I am not opposed to a curvy body. You guys know, right? However, the health metrics and what we should be placing.
Just because you got some curves, that means you thick. Wow. Okay, just because you got a little titty, you got a little booty on you. Oh, now you think, oh, sorry. This is with this nonsense.
Facing at the forefront, those cortisol levels, those cholesterol levels, that blood pressure, those are the metrics that we should be caring about. And if
So again, you know, for the most part, right? Okay, she talked about cholesterol, right? You know, I suggest anybody that's actually really gonna watch this video, get on your YouTube and type in the truth about cholesterol. Tell me what it said. I already know what the fuck it says, right? And then make sure you watch multiple videos on the truth about cholesterol. You ain't necessarily got to come back and tell the crazy. You ain't got to tell the crazy all the shit. I already know. I done see these videos. But y'all need to go watch that shit, right? Let's go.
If being thick comes at a sacrificial point to those metrics that I just mentioned, then what is the point? What is the actual point?
And then another thing too, right? Go back again. Go on YouTube. Type in the truth about high blood pressure. Right? And again, cholesterol and high blood pressure ain't what the fuck y'all think it is. I'm just saying. Don't believe it? Go watch some damn videos.
You guys don't want to have this conversation, but it's a conversation that needs to be had because, yes, it's all great to be voluptuous, but what are your health metrics saying? Do you see what I'm saying?
Some people carry more weight.
Yeah, here we go. We going by again. We going by who's motherfucking standards, right? I go now. According to doctors, they say I got high blood pressure, but I don't never show none of the symptoms, right? Motherfuckers say, "Ooh, Mr. Harris, you got high cholesterol," but I don't show none of the symptoms, right? One of my valves in my heart, I want to say it's the left ventricle, I think it is. That valve is a little bit thicker than what the fuck it should be. So if I got high blood pressure, that's the reason why. Now, I can go in there and have surgery. They cut this some bitch down. They can trim it down a little bit. But my thing is this. Y'all know, crazy uncle. I like to drink. I go to the gym. And I still drink because out of all of this shit when I take in the morning, I take my supplements. And that shit, energy through the roof, right? You know, but then I go to the gym, I try to work that shit off. And then by the time I get out of the gym, I'm still fucking wired. So I'm gonna need something to calm my ass down, right? Now, for the most part, it could be the shit that I'm taking. I get stuff to increase my blood flow. I do all that shit. I take my mushroom coffee. I do the shit, for my blood flow, right? But so to be perfectly honest, if I have high blood pressure, I don't know where the fuck it's coming from, right? I don't know if it's coming from my heart, whether it's the mushroom coffee or the goddamn alcohol or whatever the fuck it is that I'm eating. But I just look at it like this, right? I don't believe in high cholesterol. I don't believe in high blood pressure, right? And if I die right now, right, guess what? It ain't because of high blood pressure or high cholesterol. God damn it, it was just like, Yahweh come down, tap me on the shoulder. Hey, time's up, motherfucker. All right. That's how I look at it. Let's go.
In their lower body, while some people carry it in their abdominal area. And some people genetically distribute fat differently. But just because certain fat distribution patterns are more socially accepted does not mean the health risks automatically disappear. This is where conversation around health seems to get overshadowed by conversations around desirability, as we see with this creator here. What's interesting interesting about her situation is that the comments turned into full-on think pieces. Once she posted her transformation, but she is literally a certified personal trainer with a degree in kinesiology. And this is somebody whose entire career is based around understanding the human body, fitness, and body composition.
I went down to the UK and every month from April, I literally traveled for extended periods of time. And of course, I struggled with my fitness journey. Who wants to be in London or Japan or Turkey or any of these places and not overindulge in food? Like, who doesn't want to do that? Like, I want it all. Like that Sharpay clip. I want it all. I want it. That was me. Like, that was me with everything. And it wasn't as bad because I knew that if I prioritize walking and in places like that, you are just going to be walking a lot. But I put myself in situations to binge. I put myself in a lot of situations to binge, and it was really hard. It was really hard on me. And so
Now, my whole deal is with when, okay, say you in the gym or whatever. Now, depending on what the fuck your routine is, right? What do you put like this? Because listen, people, Crazy Hawk been doing this shit 30 plus years, right? I know what work, I know what don't work, right? And just know, like, say if you start, you know, I've told a lot of people this. Again, 21 years United States Army. You know, like I say, for the most part, I've been small all my life. You know, hell, at one point, shit, I was too little to even join the Army. These bastards, they had to take me down to McDonald's. They fed me 2 Big Macs, 2 big orders of fries, and then like they put me back on the scale. Hey, he made weight. All right, go on, finish out the paperwork. Right? So looking at what I did, I had to stay in shape. Right? And then after a while, that shit will make you hungry. Right? And so for the most part, right, listen, staying in shape is not hard. You got to have a mindset to be like, okay, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to work my ass off. Right? And then you go compensate for the shit that you do in the gym. And now a lot of people go sit up there and say, oh, this, you're not being disciplined. No, motherfucker. It's not about acting like really that you ain't disciplined. It's for the simple fact that you know how much you done did in the gym. I'm in the gym 4 hours plus, 5 days a week. Right? The number of reps that I do are like ridiculous. Right? I'm stronger. And this is like beyond a shadow of a doubt. I'm stronger than most 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, even motherfuckers my goddamn age. Right? Don't nobody come close to the Crazy Hawk. Right? And even when I was in the Army, I put a lot of motherfuckers to sleep. I sent a lot of motherfuckers to goddamn sick call. Right? Because that's just how my workout regimen was. And then I go and I go compensate, you know, because I just feel like, okay, look, I done did this. I done burnt this many calories. Now I go sit down at the goddamn dinner table. And then just know this. Whatever the fuck I eat or drink the night previous, I'm like, okay. And it's not that, oh, I gotta burn this shit out. It's about the simple fact that, okay, I did this yesterday. So here's a prime example of my workout day. I'm gonna finish this up, then I'm gonna shut it down. But so here's and especially like when I was in the Army, right? Get up at 5:30, be at the battery at 6:30. 6:30 to 7:30, we do an hour PT, right? We running, muscle failure, blah, 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 right? Then from 11:30 to 1, from 11:30 to, depending on what time they turn us loose, and depending on what work that needs to be done, right? From 11:30 to 1 o'clock is lunch hour. So just know that from 11:30 to 12:30, guess what? Crazy uncle in the goddamn gym, right? Because for one, it's the damn thing to do, right? And then just know, and so even now, don't put like this. Did nobody fuck with me in the army? They're like, Sergeant Harris, you too fucking crazy, right? Don't nobody fuck with me now in the gym. They're like, Mr. Harris, you too goddamn crazy, right? So it's almost like, okay, now if I accidentally gave y'all straight numbers, one or two things are gonna happen. You either gonna say, motherfucker, you lying about it, or you doing too much, right? So, but this, you know, and then I go in there and I do full body. I don't go. I'm not like a lot of these motherfuckers that go in there and tell me, oh, what you working on today? Back and bias. No, when I go, I do full body every goddamn day because it was who the guy that actually taught me. That's what the fuck he did. He did full body every goddamn day. And for the most part, it actually really makes sense because in regular, everyday routine situations, don't you use your full body? Let's go.
So literally up until the end of my travels, which was in October, I definitely like reverted a little bit and I put back on some weight and I just struggled with confidence and all those other things. I gave myself a month and that's where I'm at now. And I feel like I'm damn near fully back to, not fully, but like, I would say like 90% back to where I feel my most confident, my most beautiful. And I was able to do that in a month because I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing because I've been doing this journey for almost 9 years now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing it for a while. So like,
She openly talked about gaining weight, but the second she leaned out and became more defined.
Okay, so it's more than that video. Y'all want to check out the video? Y'all saw the channel where I got it from and all that kind of stuff. But let me put it like this. Let Crazy Hawkins, you know, I've pretty much been explaining shit to y'all throughout the video, right? You know, you gotta look at it like this. Out of all of the shit that I said, right? You know, you gotta ask yourself some very important questions. Who said that you was motherfucking ugly? Right? Or you could be like, okay, ooh, you fat. By whose standards? You got high blood pressure. By whose standards? You got high cholesterol. Again, by whose motherfucking standards? Right? Do the shit because it's what the fuck you feel the most comfortable with. Right? And then it is, just like I say, go watch those videos. Go watch those videos. The truth about high blood pressure. The truth about cholesterol. Y'all taking all these high blood pressure pills, take these motherfucking high pills that motherfucking try to bring your cholesterol. Leave that shit alone. Because if you motherfuckers actually really knew what cholesterol is, yeah, y'all, a lot of the shit that y'all take, y'all motherfuckers actually really stop taking it. Now, am I actually really trying to talk like Dr. Sabi? No, I'm not. Right? Or any other so-called fitness guru. Crazy Uncle goes to the gym every day, with the exceptions of some days, just like today. Right? I mean, because it's just like when I told y'all earlier. Once I start, look, I'm not stopping until I get to 11:30 or 11:45. Right? So, put it this now, if all of a sudden you want to carry your ass to the gym, especially if you didn't hit the age of 30, right? You know, but then again, you gotta be consistent with the shit. Plain and simple. And like I say, at 53, right? I'm about as consistent as they come, right? And then it's just for the simple fact that, okay, if somebody was to come in the gym today and then they like, okay, Mr. Harris, look, we want to try something with you, right? Just like I was looking at Facebook the other day, and it was this one woman, right? It was some type of exercise that they was doing, right? So she done ran over to the trash bucket, and she was laughing. She was laughing at the ground, or she was laughing at the trash bucket. If you don't know what the fuck laughing means, that means you vomiting, right? And then we know how a lot of motherfuckers sound when they vomiting. Sound like you're laughing almost. But in other cases, that motherfucker talking about, if you ain't puking, you ain't trying. Bullshit, motherfucker. Out of the 30 plus years that I've been working out, 21 of them being in the United States Army, not one time did I laugh at the fucking ground. A lot of that shit comes from depending on your age and you doing shit knowing damn well you ain't got no business doing it, right? You don't go from one extreme to the next. You build up. Anybody that's been in the gym will tell you that, right? Just like I say, I've been active all my goddamn life. As soon as I learned how to start walking, guess what? Crazy Uncle as a baby, I was getting into all kind of shit. Wearing my mom's ass out. And then even when I was outside, I stayed active. And that's one of the reasons why I joined the Army. Because I knew that my ass was going to be active. And even then, I didn't throw up everywhere. For the most part, right, out of the 30 plus years of me being in the gym, it really isn't an exercise that I haven't done. When I was in the Army, I was pushing Humvees with people in them, right? And just know I was a hell of a lot smaller than what I am now. I'm talking anywhere from 160 to 165 in my Army days. Just like I say, I do good if I weigh 190 right now, right? But even out of all that, right? If you want to lose weight, fine. But you got to ask yourself, why are you losing weight? Who told you was motherfucking ugly? Who said that you was fat? Who said that you was thick? Which I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck thick is. You probably say the same thing. Okay, well, define a brick shit house. Motherfucker, you know what a brick shit house looks like. Or just a brick house. Remember the song back in the day? The Commodores? She's a brick house, right? 36, 24, 36. That was in the 70s. Okay? Pretty good measurement if you ask me, right? Now, whether it's genetics, hey, it is what it is, right? Everybody don't like the same type of woman. Everybody don't like the same type of man. Shut up with this goddamn nonsense. So, with that being said, this is like, I got some more shows to do. I'm not going to do this shit back to back, right? I got some shit that I got to handle, right? So, with that being said, hey, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell big dad, tell big birthday, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door across the street, around the corner. Paul's Harris, a.k.a. Crazy Uncle. I'm going to holler at y'all.